great in between, but a really good roamer. And it also opens up, you know, that Yasuo pickup. Couple it with something like a Gragas. All of a sudden, you got this huge knock-up combo. The rookie can pick his poison on who he wants to dive on, depending on which abilities hit.
Oh yeah, the Yasuo was swapped out
To the Fiora. As I said, it's all well and good being able to ban the Fiora, but now you have to deal with the mid lane pick. Rookie's already shown that he's deadly on the Echo as an assassin. Arguably even better, and Zzitai goes Gankplank.
Oh man, Gankplank has been locked in for Invictus Gaming.
Or is that Rookie's Gankplank? You know, have to wait and see.
That is actually a good point.
So I know that Europe especially plays a lot of top lane Gankplank. I think mid lane Gankplank is arguably better. It gives you access to the Raptors and the Wolves, and when you're able to clear out only the little minions, leave the big ones for your junglers, guys. You know, he gets extra money off them. But Gankplank just gold efficiency on taking little creeps is huge.
So much effective gold from that Gankplank. IG, Qiao Gu look to answer. TNT's looking at Ashe. We saw Kid take it in the last game to very solid success.
Yeah, Kid's positioning, you know, for a man that's been under fire, was very solid last game. Able to make that Ashe work against a couple of diving people, and this time it will be picked away.
Yeah, the Ashe locked in by TNT, and Elise once again, once again locked in by Swift.
Yep. So this will be a lot of physical damage if they do go with the Yasuo pick here. You know, they've got the wall. All of a sudden, they've got Gragas locked in as well. So it must be on QG's mind. But where do they go from there? What magic damage can they get into their team comp to make sure that, you know, it just doesn't scale to the late game, and a super tank is now very efficient for V in the top lane?
We'll certainly see what they still end up going for, as they haven't shown their AD carry or potentially their mid laner. We don't quite know if that's going to be a mid lane or a top lane Gankplank for the Flex and Qiao Gu. You can see Doinb bouncing up and down as he's excitedly prepared for this next set. He took Victor in the last one. Locking in Alistar here, might be looking at saving that last pick. Oh man, the Riven made it through, but I'd be surprised to see it locked in.
It's the counter pick to Gankplank. You know, as far as counters to Gankplank goes, Riven definitely is the highest priority, but Fizz is actually the choice for V one more time. I wasn't super impressed with it last time around. He had a lot of attention in his top lane, did okay, but was not the, I guess, most successful pickup.
Yeah, the Fizz now locked in. We'll see how IG respond as they're getting into their AD carry in either their mid or top lane, depending on the location of that Gankplank. We're certainly going to find out. Corki being hovered by Kid. Still got a healthy amount of AD carries to look at. Despite that Kalista, there's the Yasuo you were talking about.
And Corki just makes so much sense. As far as magic damage AD carries go, he is at the highest. It goes Corki, kog'maw. So both do a fair amount of mixed damage early game. You know, Corki does more towards a mid-late game because of how spell-reliant it is. kog'maw a little bit more auto-attack reliant, so does peter off a little bit towards the physical damage side of things, especially if you go Phantom Dancer, Infinity Edge, things like this. Oh, so they go with kog'maw. It was going to be one of them. It was going to be the Corki or the kog'maw. They go for a little bit more hyper-scaling, and across the board right now, Invictus get worse as the game goes on. There is no good time to fight these guys, but the last thing you want to do is fight a 6-item Gankplank kog'maw Yasuo.
Oh my goodness. An absolutely terrifying prospect, and they've got disengage as well.
They've got double wind wall.
Yep.
They've got the wind wall, they've got the unbreakable, they've got the Gragas ultimate, they've got the Fisher that comes out of Kitties Braum. As you said, the disengage tools, the engage tools, there is just so much. Couple that with a huge Gankplank ultimate that can slow, that can make sure that your team's sped up going into these fights. It's going to be very interesting, and Doinb's done it.
Yeah, he's dropping the mic in this set, or should I say dropping anchor. It's Nautilus in the mid lane for Doinb.
So the immovable brick is what this is right now. Doinb, you know, don't expect to see like much AP coming out here. He's going to be a tanky Nautilus in the mid lane.
Oh boy.
And Rookie, we're going to see whether he can budge. The huge scuba diver, whatever the heck Nautilus is.
Very tough say if Yasuo can penetrate the armor that Doinb is certainly going to be building, but The team comps are on your screen. Invictus Gaming are up 1-0 so far. And Qiao Gu look to bring it back with this set with a mid-lane Nautilus for Doinb.
And, you know, top lane, want to see how it works out. I believe when we saw Flandre in the Gankplank matchup earlier tonight, he got the blue buff. So was able to harass really effectively level 1, you know, just shoot up, walk up, clock people with a pistol, walk back. So had really good lane bullying. But that was with Elise in. Gragas kind of needs his blue buff a little bit more, not a lot, especially if you go W max. So see whether Gragas gives that man on your screen, Zzitai, the same luxury of having access to his resources early in the game.
Yeah, we'll certainly see if that's the case. Here's KaKAO and Swift in the jungle on Gragas and Elise once again, the same champions. Now we're getting into those mid laners, Rookie and Doinb, Yasuo and Nautilus. This is going to be great.
And we take a look at the AD carries. Kid versus TNT. Kid having a very good game last time around. This time on kog'maw, TNT did pick away the Ashe.
Yep.
We'll see whether he's able to position in a similar manner.
We'll certainly see. Lastly, the supports, Kitties and TCT on Braum and Alistar. Everyone is getting ready. They're nice and excited. The crowd is prepared to get us onto the Rift for game number 2 in just a moment.
Yeah, so looking down the line, you see everyone very much ready to get into this second game.
We're getting into game right now. And we have returned to the Rift. Welcome back, everyone. It is the LPL Regional Qualifier. We're in game number 2 of the seeding bracket. It's Invictus Gaming versus Qiao Gu. And with IG in possession of game number 1, Qiao Gu need to win this next set if they want to have a chance in this best of 3.
And we see just a 5-point defense out of both teams. Nothing really going on apart from a lot of furious pinging. And it just will be standard lanes from the looks of it, with the top laners helping out the junglers. Of course, it's become a lot more standard to tank up the first couple of camps for your jungler. You get to take the first lot of experience. He takes the second lot of experience. You go back, teleport back to your lane. Everyone's happy. He's super healthy. So we'll see whether that pattern continues.
Yeah. You can see Zzitai was actually on that side along with KaKAO. So he might be looking for that blue buff start that you were talking about. We'll see if it ends up on Gragas or on Gankplank, because he is taking it into Fizz once again. Kid and Kitties look to be starting off with a Krug camp of their own. Could be a pretty solid boom to that bottom lane, but it looks like TNT and TCT are doing something similar.
Yeah, doing the exact same thing here. We'll be able to get to lane a little bit quicker.
Yeah, looks like Zzitai is actually headed to the top. He has cleared 2 small camps, so I don't know that he got the full experience. No, he actually didn't. Helped him out with the Gromp and then headed up to the top. Whereas V on the other side is going to have level 2 heading to the top lane as Rookie trades away with Doinb.
Yeah, but Doinb has so many resources right now. You know, he's got the flask, he's got all of the potions. Rookie doing his best to be a pest, but Nautilus shrugs this damage off quite easily in the early game.
Yeah, Swift actually is very close to the mid lane as he's at the Raptor camp right now. Not going to look for any sort of ganks this early on as everyone's still very low. And Doinb is chugging through his flasks.
Doinb just missed a lot of creeps there, stuttering through the auto attacks.
Bit of trouble for Doinb. I'm sure he'll end up being just fine as the wave is shoved under his turret. And Kid and Kitties are going to be content to let the wave shove forward. Zzitai just flashed away from V.
V got given the red buff. Talk about needing to flash. What the heck? Red buff Fizz at level 3 in the game. Definitely going to be putting in work. I want to know whether that was deliberate. Of course, could have just been a slip up there, but as far as lane bullying goes,
yeah,
no way that Gankplank can go near that Fizz.
Tricky situation now for Zzitai as his wave clear isn't that fantastic early on. All of those minions are going to crash into the turret very shortly. Oh, Doinb. Oh. Misses a couple of creeps, but still keeps himself in this overall. not down too many, but nice slow start to this set as our junglers recall and get a nice amount of wards.
What do you want from him, man? You got a flash in the top lane. You got crazy stuff happening everywhere.
TCT, whoa. Is he going to steal away the Raptor camp?
Nah, he was looking to see whether he could go over the wall. You know, they're trying to get vision on KaKAO to set up a gank in that mid lane. TNT now bullied out a little bit, but what they wanted to do was help their Nautilus. He has such good base stats and CC at this part of the game. Really efficient to gank for. But KaKAO was in the area, spotted out by Swift, so they had to disengage.
Seems like everyone is playing nice and calm early on. No diving happening just yet, though Doinb. That actually looked really cool. It looked like he leaned back and threw it over himself. He's going to get a nice recall in. He's got teleport available, so he should be making it back into lane right quick, as he's now got a Doran's ring for more sustain against this terrifying Yasuo. And now that the red buff has worn off, Zzitai can feel a little bit safer venturing forward for these minions.
Yeah, his lane's about to reverse in a big way, so would want to start hard shoving that. You saw he had the safety barrel, I call it, next to his turret. Good thing about the barrel, and something that's overlooked a lot, is it also has a defensive use. You know, it gives you a huge speed burst to be able to like just hightail it out of there. And if there's anything pirates are good at, you know, you grab all the plunder and just get the heck out of dodge and see whether Zzitai is able to use that if he is like, you know, being dove or something goes a little bit fishy in the top lane and V gets control. To be able to get out of there, because you can see he still doesn't have that flash available, so he needs to be sure that he doesn't fall behind again in the early game.
We'll certainly see, as Zzitai seems to be suffering just a bit in this set. Though he is Gankplank, more than definitely can make up for that difference later on as the game progresses.
And you can see, because he gets like an extra 25% from the creeps, like 25 to 30%, somewhere around there, depending on how much his Q is ranked up. Even though he's like 7 CS behind, that's a even lane, if not Gankplank still in the lead, just because of how his kit works out.
Ooh, looks like Swift is on that side of the map. Very deep in the jungle. Will spot out KaKAO, however. They might pull the trigger
and they've got the fish.
Ooh, the fish is going to miss. They're still diving forward. Zzitai runs to the barrel. He's trying to buy himself some time. He's so low. Doesn't have flash. He goes down. First blood. Solo kill by V.
Yeah, so V actually sets that up really nicely. Zzitai had no choice but to chase him outside of his turret, because otherwise Swift would have been able to get there as well. Even more gold would have gone over to the lineup of Qiao Gu. And Zzitai resigned in this lane. He's gone back, grabbed a Ruby Crystal, as well as an Avarice Blade. I don't know what the heck he's going to build out of both those items. I'm assuming Youmuu's Ghost Blade. I don't know what the Ruby Crystal's for.
Phage into an eventual Trinity Force?
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah, eventually.
He's playing a banker right now. Swift, be looking for, and has in fact found Rookie. The knockup is not going to come across. Rookie's forced to flash dash to a minion. He's so low. The auto attack secures it. 2 quick kills, Qiao Gu.
Yeah, and that was all the chain CC. You know, people wonder why Nautilus mid, and it's exactly because of that. Able to get the knock-up chain there, able to use the continuing slow that does come out of Nautilus's kit. As KaKAO now wants to boogie with him a little bit.
Certainly is trying, but KaKAO once again moments late to the party. Just not quite able to find the action as it was happening. And Qiao Gu are starting this set off.
As Zzitai whips the barrel completely.
Qiao Gu are starting this off 2-0.
Yeah, so definitely a good early game so far. You can see they're 500 gold up. See whether they're able to continue this. In the bottom lane, things are going in Invictus's favor. As we said, Braum towards level 6 just does so much work. And the kog'maw goes to the team first, so very much a lane bully lane down there right now.
Yeah, harassing it out just a bit. Once again, Swift is on the top side of the map. He's revisiting the hotel that he opened up in the previous game. And once again, the sole tenant, Zzitai, keeps on getting charged a little bit too much.
You can see Zzitai, he's setting up barrels everywhere, trying to get creative in his farming right now. But V is just unrelenting in this pressure. Zzitai is picking up a lot of gold though, you know, with an Avarice Blade, with the Parlay passive on the queue. He very much is an investment banker. And this was a legitimate Gankplank strat in like Season 2. He used to sit top, double GP10, just farm the heck out of your lane. You see he's getting 25 for a caster creep.
Oh man, a very scary Gankplank. He's in the cards for the late game, but Qiao Gu could look to shut that down a little bit more and try to deny the Gankplank.
Oh, I'm having flashbacks. It's traumatic.
Doinb in the mid lane continues to farm it up. He's built out a healthy amount of armor now as he's got a Glacial Shroud and another cloth armor on top of it. Poor Rookie is going to be resigned to farming minions now. Swift and TCT look for a dive. They're going to show from the far side. KaKAO with the counter gank. Another knockup comes across. There goes the Gankplank ultimate. Teleport being used as well. Doinb so low. He ends up going down to Rookie. Swift is taking the turret. Repels into the air. He's got nowhere to go though as Zzitai has joined the fight. KaKAO nets the kill on the far side while Rookie ended up going down to V.
Yeah, but in the end it's a 2-for-1 exchange and it is Invictus that comes out ahead. Very nice ability there for KaKAO to be able to spot the gank and stay in the side, because if he had shown earlier, they just would have been aborted. Instead, they sacrifice their mid laner's life, sure, but they're able to get the advantage back in their favor. All of a sudden, someone in the top lane, Zzitai, who was very much struggling, picks up 2 assists, is a lot happier. Although his top laner also got an extra kill, so you know, win some, you lose some, Zzitai. Sorry, buddy.
You take the good with the bad.
Yeah, but back 700 gold up in the lead.
V will continue to try trading rather successfully with Zzitai.
So the thing right now about V...
Oh, that was a good barrel. Yeah, he was looking for that one too.
So he actually has the Ignite, and that's why Zzitai has to be very respectful of the Fizz, just because so much of Gankplank's kit is knowing how much you can bait out of the damage before having to use that citrus fruit to get you back up to health, because now it's percentage missing health, of course. But with the Ignite, that completely skews it, so all of a sudden, a feel that you're used to, not there anymore. There's TNT and Kitties, ships in the night. Slam into each other.
Yeah, those two ships had a rough collision before separating off.
Oh, I can't remember who started that originally. Was it free?
Yep.
Thank you, David.
I was there at the time. But things have calmed down and returned to a little bit safer positions after that early action. IG are in the lead when it's all said and done. They've got Gankplank stacking up. And Rookie continuing to farm it up in the mid lane despite Doinb building as much armor as he... I wanted to say humanly could, but then I don't know if Nautilus is a human or not.
Not anymore, he's not.
Yeah. Was he? He was a shipperman. Yes, that's a word.
A shipperman.
Yeah.
As opposed to a boaterman. Don't get those confused, guys.
Dragon has been started by Qiao Gu. Here comes the shipperman himself. Help them out. Kitties. Whoa. Actually gets a tag on the Swift and the Dragon resets. They will secure the Dragon, however.
So something we do need to point out is that Swift has once again gone Runeglaive on his...
Sailor.
Were you honestly fishing for that
I was looking for it like I dropped something in the deep.
Okay, so Runeglaive, Elise, is something that adds a lot of pressure around the map and also gives you genuine kill threat throughout the game on the AD carry. But what it doesn't help you with is your tankiness, obviously, and, you know, quite obvious, but what that means is you have to invest so much into being, I guess, more of an assassin kind of gameplay, which isn't what your team needs at this time of the game. Once again, V goes aggressive. Yeah. We'll have to see whether Swift is able to make it work this time around.
We certainly will. Swift committing to it. Oh, he is being invaded right now. A ward spots him out, and he just now realizes it. Clears it over the wall. KaKAO uses the opportunity to slip into his jungle. Swift goes back into human form. Flash dodges the cast. Cocoon buys him some time, but Rookie's on the other side.
Wow.
KaKAO's taking a lot of damage. There's the Gankplank ulti. Is it going to be enough? Flash gets him over the wall. Wind wall blocks the arrow, and IG get out.
But look how much was expended to get the QG members out. You know, IG were never in danger there. They were on the front push. Doinb burns his flash. Swift burns the flash. All of it just for a KaKAO ultimate. And they're going to continue to struggle on the top side of the map.
They certainly are, as Swift is, as you mentioned, using the Rune Glaive, not quite so tanky. KaKAO can scare him away rather easily.
Oh, TNT's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they're setting up a dive on the bottom. Kid is going to be the target. Kitties tanking the turret as best he can. Stun lands. They're doing a lot of damage. Heal buys him time. Kitties goes low. Heal! Traded over, keeps him alive. Kid nets the kill.
Yeah, so Kid able to pick up the kill, 22 CS, now a kill. The reason that they could go for that, as V trying to zone out Zzitai. KaKAO's also here.
Yeah, looking for some counter danking over the wall.
So the reason they could go for that was they knew the arrow had been expended to try and get the fight in their favor in the jungle. So all of a sudden, no CC, no support there because they also spotted out the Alistar. Means fight goes in favor of Invictus.
3-3 right now. IG are up 1,300 gold. They have completed the Trinity Force on Kid. Static Shiv is done on Rookie. They're starting to get pretty scary, and while they don't have anything to fight over just now, I'm sure they will soon. Zzitai heals himself right back up after V tries trading.
Yeah, V is a terrifying one right now. And you know, 2-0-0 needs to be able to translate that advantage somewhere else because all KaKAO is doing is clearing that side of his jungle and then trying to sit top lane for a gank potential because he feels his top lane is going to be dope.
It's actually got a pretty moderate CS lead right now as well.
That's huge. He's on
27 CS ahead.
Yeah, 27 CS and a kill, so it's really closer towards the 40 mark right now. And TNT, you can see, continues to take punishment.
Scary situation for TNT to be in on that immobile Ashe when the enemy team is doing so well.
Also 2 levels at this stage. Once again, V trying to get aggressive on Zzitai.
Yeah, just shoving the minions under the turret. Zzitai is able to keep himself alive for now. KaKAO looks for a dive. He's going to spot TCT in the face, decides to pull the trigger. Burst TCT down the barrel, knocks TNT back in. The arrow hits Kitties in the face. He's now taking the turret. CC locks him down, but he's going to go low. Teleport from V gets him in there. Kid is caught. Here's the teleport from Zzitai. He's coming in from the far side. Rookie and Doinb are headed down there as well. This is exploding, but Zzitai cancels his teleport. That would turn it into a 5v4, and Qiao Gu pulled the trigger, realizing this. They're trying to shred through IG's health bars. They succeed, as now that's Kid who's running for his life. They're diving. Swift is caught up by the last breath. KaKAO solo. He finally goes down. And Qiao Gu,
wow.
Whoa! He goes back in. Rookie's looking for the stylish play. He succeeds in netting 2 kills. Kid is kiting in the back line as best he can, but he's not going to be able to find any more kills.
Rookie goes off on the back end of that fight, dives back into 4 members, picks up a double kill, equalizes the trade in what was a 4v5, and you can see him bouncing up and down in his chair. He is a happy, happy man. All of a sudden, Zzitai, who cancelled his teleport, looked like a bad call. Able to pick up the turret for his troubles, as well as a couple of CS waves. And he's right back in this game.
Yeah, this is huge. Invictus Gaming now 2,000 gold ahead of Qiao Gu when it's all said and done. The first turret of the game goes down to the solo top lane Gankplank.
That was getting absolutely bodied. V, you know, he's even confident enough to go for a second offensive item in the Bilgewater Cutlass, which will eventually be a Blade of the Ruined King. But he didn't feel comfortable doing that until the 4th item last time around. This time it's number 2.
Yeah, very confident play from V. Helped him out in the... excuse me, holy wow. Helped him out in the bottom lane, but not quite so much in the top lane. And now Dragon's going to be up in about 20 seconds. This could very well be another opportunity to fight. No teleports from either of those top laners, but we've now got double Trinity Force available.
And this is what I'm talking about, you know, Invictus. Everyone was... You know, there were people that were very critical of the Kid and Kitties bottom lane. And now they've been able to forge this lead by themselves. It's a 40 CS advantage. KaKAO now hovering around that end of the map because he recognizes that that's probably where Swift should be, because that's a huge advantage for a hyper-scaling kog'maw.
Yeah, very scary situation as he looks to scale that kog'maw even further. Lots of wards to spot it out. TCT Knows he's got to play nice and defensive, and yeah, with KaKAO showing himself on this side,
Teleport's going into the bottom lane. Doinb's on his way.
He certainly is. The hook lands. Arrow once again finds Kid. They're homing onto him. There goes the Gankplank ulti for some serious damage to trade it back. It's 4v4 as Rookie has joined down. A wind wall blocks the cocoon. Kid dodges around the side. Doinb goes low. V gets knocked out of the fight. Rookie tries to burst him down from the far side.
Zzitai's here.
Zzitai finally manages to join into the fight. He's looking for the crit, but can't quite find it. He's already lost his front line as KaKAO and Kitties have gone down, and Qiao Gu have not lost a single member just yet.
So another 4v5. This time it does go in QG's favor. That was started off for Invictus. We'll see what else they are able to get off the back end of this. That was another teleport use, you know. IG just not respecting Doinb's teleport. He makes them pay.
Oh man, huge damage from Zzitai as he clears out the minion wave, but Qiao Gu have their duo in order to catch that wave. And that is going to help equalize it in terms of gold. Those 2 kills unanswered means that right now Qiao Gu are only 500 gold behind. You know, they have recalled, Dragon's up, and they are hitting some scary breakpoints.
Yeah, and you know, in relative power right now, we have to mention the Randuin's Omen change that is going to be picked up by a lot of the members.
Oh man. And he gets the bonus gold from killing spiderlings?
Yeah, of course he does. Spiderlings are people too. You spiderlingist. Yeah, so what I was going to mention is the fact that Randuin's Omen is a huge counter to Yasuo right now. You know, the new passive gets rid of 10% of critical strike damage. Yasuo goes for that 100% build. Gankplank also goes for a very high crit build in the late game. So this Nautilus, as well as Swift, who's also picked up a Randuin Omen of his own, is going to be very hard to burst out in the later parts of the game.
It looks to be a scary situation as Doinb is starting to get nice and tanky, and Swift going tank now himself as the armor stacking for Qiao Gu has begun.
Yeah, and you know it needs to continue. Look at all the persistent AD damage that will come out of this team. Once again, KaKAO in this bottom lane, he doesn't want to give up.
No, he doesn't. Putting his complete and utter focus on this side of the map. He's going to zone out TNT and TCT.
There goes the Gankplank ultimate.
They're trying to look for a kill right here. TCT uses the ultimate, gets knocked back. The stun locks him down. The arrow lands. KaKAO's tanking quite a bit. Rookie looks to join the battle. He turns now onto Doinb, but he's so tanky. Exhaust is buying them time, and Doinb dodges to the far side. He's still alive. Finally, he goes down. They dive deep enough to net the kill, but they might just lose a tier 1 on the other side of the map.
Yeah, so they definitely will lose a tier 1 because you can see that Zzitai is waiting in the wings, probably wants a teleport if he can get it. Also looking at B there as well, but in the end it is the 1 for nothing and the turret going down, so IG pick up a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, just a little bit more is going to help them snowball further forward. Kid forced to back away from Swift's Cocoon, and V did siege the top tier 1 successfully and break it down. So the 2 tier 1s were dropped in both the top and bottom lane, and the map is starting to open up just a little bit more, though IG do have the momentum for now.
And it's a relatively even game, so let's look at where the gold is held. You know, a lot more on the top laner of QG, you would have to say, although Zzitai with that parlay definitely making a little bit of pirate bank. On the other side of the map, though, there is a 40 CS advantage and a couple of kills on Kid. And the longer this game goes, the more kog'maw ramps up. You know, one of the reasons is, yes, he's got the W, all the increased ranges, but the other thing is he's got one of the most expensive builds in the game, which means that if you're able to get to the 6 item set, your slot efficiency is just through the roof.
See if we are going to end up getting a game that long, as we're 23 minutes in right now. 1,000 gold lead in favor of Invictus Gaming. They're starting to slow down just a little bit after that successful dive in the bottom tier 1 of Qiao Gu. And Qiao Gu stacking up quite a bit, getting nice and tanky. V's actually completed his Blade of the Ruined King in the top lane. Oh, great wind wall from Rookie, blocks the hook.
Yeah, Rookie being on point this whole game. You know, he had the Ashe arrow in the jungle fight. Now another hook coming out of Doinb. That one a little bit more telegraphed, I guess, is the right word to use there. But we can see that he is pretty close to that Trinity Force. Of course, you pick up the Sheen is the last component because you get a lot more out of the crit and the movement speed of the Phage. And once he gets that, his split pull well and truly unlocked. And I wonder if he's able to take it to V. Fizz used to be known as a counter against Yasuo, but this Trinity Force has given him a lot more one-on-one potential.
Certainly can see that V will be very scary. Looks like IG looking for a few deep boards as they pressure on the bottom side of the map, trying to keep an eye on the vision of Swift, trying to figure out where he wants to go next. As everyone is playing calm and defensive, and V just going to shove this wave out. God, that's such a satisfying sound.
You see that it's actually some magic resistance picked up for Zzitai. You know, not only does it synergize really well with the kit at this stage of the game, probably still about 60-40 damage-wise on that Fizz as the ultimate's expended. Looks like he's gone with the third upgrade first, which is, of course, 60% fire rate, I want to say. Something like that. I play a lot of Gankplank. Don't ask me my win rate.
Okay. I won't. What?
Thank you. You're a kind man.
Barrels are comboed together, and the wave is cleared. Zzitai still, V still on this side of the map. He's level 15 to the level 13 of Zzitai. Do the barrels give vision?
Yeah, a little bit of vision.
Okay. So V is in vision or just outside?
Just outside.
Ooh.
There you go. So it gives a little bit of vision.
Scary situation. Don't know if he knows that V is down there. Oh, now he sees him. If he didn't before, he does now. As the barrels are cleared out, and V will buy some time for the rest of his team.
You can see that Rookie trying to solo siege in the mid lane. Everyone else of Invictus towards the top side of the map. It's going to be a stalemate in the bottom lane. You know, V a little bit too big currently to be dealt with. And that's what we said, a lot of power on the top laner for QG, but you can say the exact same thing about the mid lane and the bottom lane of this Invictus lineup. Ooh, Zzitai, you're in trouble.
Man, V looks for the dive. Flash Fish is found. Zzitai cleanses it, but he gets destroyed. V with a solo kill, bounces back to safety.
All right, so we know who wins the one-on-one out of V and Zzitai. Looks like Fizz a little bit more efficient at this stage of the game. You know, he had the Ignite up, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But that does mean that bottom lane turret will be falling, and pressure on Invictus now to make a proactive move.
Yeah, KaKAO's waiting for the death rush. They caught Swift and have destroyed him. TCT now could be the next target. The stun looks to land. It does indeed, and while he's taking reduced damage for now, it doesn't last long. He goes down, double kill for Kid, and they're in front of the Baron.
Yeah, all of a sudden they can just turn on that Baron. They have the Gankplank to be able to go bottom. Teleport is available for the Fizz, but it will be... No, Doinb also has his, so it will be a 3v4 if they want to pull the trigger. Yeah,
scary situation for Qiao Gu. Let's see if they will try to contest it. Seems like they're giving it up. Baron secured Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, so IG able to take a 27-minute Baron in a game that was looking pretty scary because V had hit his stride. But all of a sudden, the sieging power intensified.
Oh, TNT, you don't want to be waiting in that brush. Gets tagged by a quick slow from Kitties. Dragon was looking to be started by IG, but they're not quite at full health and don't want to take any chances.
Yeah, there's no way that that is worth it, especially with standing gold in the mid lane. Give it up. Fifth Dragon not on the table whatsoever. Take down a turret and continue to grow your gold lead. Need to be careful they don't get caught in rotation, but it looks like it is a successful trade.
Yeah, the tier 1 goes down for that second Dragon. It's now 3 turrets to 2 in favor of IG. They've got momentum in this set now that they've taken game number 1 and have the Baron buff. Minor gold lead for now.
And let's talk about how good the siege comp of Invictus is. You can't run into a Gankplank, because if his barrels are set up in a good area, you know, diving on top of his team is very hard to do. You can't really dive on top of the Braum either because of all the CC that he allows the team to be able to provide through the passive as well as that ultimate. Then you have things like double wall, the range advantage that Kid has in a siege, not to mention the fact that you got 2 Trinity Force users that chunk through turrets. If they get ahead, this should be a very cool, very clinical closeout for IG, because it should just be a simple case of setting up the double shield and pushing in to win.
Trouble is getting that ahead part functioning. Qiao Gu excel at team fighting, especially from deficits. We've seen them make bigger comebacks than this. Mere 2,500 gold. Qiao Gu have come down from 10,000.
Mere 2,500 gold. Of course, this is towards the business end of the season, as V might have been spotted here.
Oh. He's going to dodge over the wall right quick, and with Baron buff still standing.
Okay, so you can see exactly what IG want to do. They want to set up that triangle of wards through the blue side of QG's jungle and just continue to chip away at turrets, use the Sheen procs, use the range of the kog'maw, and eventually someone will step out of place, be caught. Gankplank can use his ultimate, and they're just able to collapse and provide all of the damage that needs to be there. Rookie can stay in mid lane, Kid can stay in bottom lane, and unless a miracle arrow hits through Kitties, it should be a very easy siege.
Yeah, looks to be the case as IG now are getting onto the tier 2. TCT is the target. He uses the Unbreakable Will. There goes the cannon barrage. Kitties is caught out, however, he's going low. Rookie's deep in enemy lines, doing what he can. They're diving now onto Kid. The target selection from Qiao Gu is so clean. Rookie trying to drop V. He doesn't quite succeed. Flash, and he's still alive. He's going to clean it up when it's all said and done. Enormous damage from Zzitai as well. A triple kill so far. They're chasing forward. The barrel nets the quadra kill. Could this be the pentaplank? KaKAO tries to lead it, but he ends up baiting Zzitai forward. The wind wall keeps Zzitai alive. They're going to go for it. Rookie ends up getting the ace. He's going to go down when it's all said and done, but the tier 2 falls.
So they give away a couple of kills for a potential pentakill, but they end up taking the team fight and the turret. All of a sudden, it is a 5,000 gold lead, and Invictus Gaming, Zzitai finally gets some gold. Rookie's already doing work. That is a 4-item kog'maw. This game is real tough for QG to fight back from.
Oh yeah, we saw how tough that dive was onto Kid. 3 members finding their way onto that poor kog'maw. He did not stand a chance. Only the fast footwork of Rookie kept him alive from a similar situation. And 31 minutes into the game, the tier 2 has fallen, but the Baron buff is now gone from IG.
And I want to point out something, the fact that last game, the exhaust was in the top lane, so it was much easier to duel V. This time, you saw V fly into that team fight. The exhaust went down at the opportune time out of the Yasuo, as you know, you see Gankplank still farming up a storm, and was able to make so much happen.
Oh, Zzitai says, come at me, bro. I can take it. The barrel is going to be procced for enormous damage, even using the ultimate and the flash. Here comes Kitties. They're keeping him alive. Oh, man, there's nowhere for Swift to go, so he goes back in. He goes down. A double kill for KaKAO. They turn onto TCT, and Qiao Gu have just been baited into their deaths. Zzitai is still alive in the back line. The rest of IG are kiting forward. Kid will now find TCT. He goes down. Only Doinb and TNT are alive. The flash tag from Kitties. That's the enemy mid laner, man, but he doesn't care.
What was that? But in the end, it's another 3 kills. Doesn't really matter. IG just extending this gold lead. It's out to 8,000. They'll clean up another turret. Make it about 9,500 gold. And there is absolutely nothing Qiao Gu can do.
Yeah, this is fantastic play from IG. Zzitai turns it around. Doinb getting locked down, gets destroyed. Didn't want to follow that hook. They're now getting onto the inhibitor turret. Swift gets annihilated by Kid. V runs forward, trying to keep the inhibitor turret alive, but nothing can prevent it from falling. IG are unstoppable.
And that is just 4 members, you know? Kitties doesn't even have health. There's a Gankplank pushing mid lane simultaneously. And all of a sudden, Invictus hit the go button. They open up the entirety of the map. And it just looks like Qiao Gu, they've been hit one too many times. They are reeling.
Yeah, they certainly are. The next inhibitor turret looks to be the target. Zzitai seems to be minion blocked out of the base as he sets up the barrel combo. Doesn't quite land all of it.
Horrible with it.
But he doesn't need to. He does so much damage. If he lands 1, oh my gosh. Fantastic play from IG. 33 minutes in, they've knocked down 2 inhibitors.
Let's just say this. I don't think anyone has watched this game and been like, wow, we cannot give Zzitai Gankplank again.
I mean, after that bait top lane.
Rookie's Yasuo, on the other hand, is just devastating. Another Trinity Force user taken into the bottom lane. kog'maw has been great for Kid. And QG will hit back with a turret, but with 2 inhibitors down, is a very small victory to celebrate.
Yeah, it certainly is. Baron's up in 15 seconds. Dragon number 3 for Qiao Gu has just spawned, so they are taking those small victories as IG make a line for that Baron buff. There's a small window before the minions push in that Qiao Gu can play with. Will they be able to make it in time as they're now heading towards the pit to prevent IG from taking this?
Well, the other thing is that IG takes very little damage from Baron as a whole. If KaKAO is there, which he's not, so they do.
Oh, looks like they turn now on to Doinb. The knockup will find Kid. Cleanse has been used. The wall blocks a Fish V. Gets once again into the back line. Cocoon misses as well. Kid kites it around the stun lands. He nets the kill. In the meanwhile, the front line's been dead. 4 members dead. 5 members dead. Qiao Gu have just been aced by Invictus Gaming.
And Invictus Gaming in 2 team fighting games have been able to dominate Qiao Gu. This IG lineup looks like they want to head to Worlds. They've made it one step closer, Sada, now with a 2-0 victory. They'll be going up against EDG.
Yeah, the return of the grudge match. EDG suffered defeat last time. This is awesome. These are the heavy hitters bringing in the big guns. Invictus Gaming dropped the Nexus. And they're going on to the winner's bracket.
And I want to point out the Ashe game, the kog'maw game, Kid and Kitties as a unit. You know, people have been celebrating the QG bottom lane with good cause because TNT and TCT definitely have stepped up. But IG look like across the board, they're just performing very well.
Yeah, IG are playing out of their minds right now. Kid and Kitties, as you mentioned, 6-1-4 ending score for that kog'maw. Despite the Fizz, despite